Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Well, that's an intro. I've heard good things about these games and whatnot. I was mesmerized by the animation though, trying to figure out what was happening there, because I could not tell for sure if it was hand animated or if it was rotoscoped, because it really looked rotoscoped. It really looked like they filmed people doing that scene and then they drew over it, more or less. It might have been a mix of both, because some of the animation looked really rotoscopes, but also some of the other stuff, like that lady was walking and she kept taking really weirdly sharp turns, like she was a 3D model walking on a track. It was weird. I can't tell for certain what I think that cutscene was. Anyway, hey, looks like this is one of those games that just starts right into story the moment you launch it. So that's what that was. This is The Police. The sequel's actually already out, but as far as I've heard, the sequel immediately opens up with tons of story, and it picks up where the first one left off. And it just sounds like, and I do have a code for both of them, but it sounds like if I'm going to do a preview video, it seems like it makes most sense to play the first game for a bit and then just let you guys know that not only does this game exist, and you can check it out via the link in the description, but also its sequel exists. So check that out. Also, if you like this game and you just want to keep going afterwards, I've heard that the second sequel starts with so much story and tutorial that you'll never get anywhere. But also it's a direct follow-up of this one, so it's probably spoiling what happens in this game, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, this one's requested by Patreon supporter Casey Wood. Let's get in there. Mayor Rogers' Sex Maniac? Do I click on these? Can you look at them? Nope. City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation. Mark War 2 be shown in Freeburg's the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. Mark War 2. I assume it's a movie.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60. but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same: play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Do I pick that? Good morning. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise? Or did you know about it in advance? What's the difference? What does it matter whether it came as a surprise? My business is my own. Do you already know the name of your successor? No. Of course not. And I don't think the mayor's office knows who it is either. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy, Francis Kendrick, said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? Perhaps. Sounds possible. If he thinks the new office would help him serve the city a little longer. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? Bullshit. Excuse me, but that's a pile of horse shit. The mafia and the police working together? Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens. The mafia are a bunch of low-life criminals. How about someone ask a real question? Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? How should I know? You better ask him. Thank you.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick. As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man."
I'll do my best.
"And quit smoking at the office. One of my friends will be using it soon."
I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
So we got a likable cast of characters where everyone's real happy in this game, evidently. What a piece of shit! Being all like, all I need is us to cooperate and not cause any problems for the next 180 days, and then he puts out a cigar on the expensive-looking diorama, probably ruining it like a piece of shit. Like, alright, wow, you really, what a really good, like, good faith claim you're having there. Head of Culture Department owns villa in Italy. Jack Boyd believes feud with mayor led to resignation. Jack Boyd, my retirement's my own business. I'm surprised that the three newspapers have completely different headlines for the front page. Someone definitely fancies themselves a motion comic artist.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Hey, the gameplay is starting. I was kind of wondering when that was going to start, because the we had a day start and then another day started. And I was like, oh, we didn't do any police work that entire day? Because as far as I'm aware, this is like a simulator or a management game, basically. So I figured in between those cutscenes, gameplay would happen. But here we are. Would you like to receive tips on how the game works? Yeah, because I have no idea what's happening. I'm a 60-year-old police chief a few months away from retirement. I don't need anyone telling me how to do my job. It's funny because that's what the protagonist of the game is. Freeburg PD organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress, and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable. Where's 150? Professionalism. Where? It's not that, is it? This guy's like 100 times better than anything. He's a 1230 compared to 150. That's like... He's so high above average, if that's the case. While those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet, even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise or fall over the course of their career. Looks like this guy might have a drinking problem. Is that what we're going at next? Yeah, that must have been it. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work. And a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each workday, and restore 1 after each day of rest. They have to have 50% days off? I don't think that's how things work in reality even, is it? Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with a reason that they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. Was the beer not indication of that, or is that not something I actually get to have as evidence? Okay, so that employee doesn't exist. The one they just showed me, he's not actually here. Everyone has considerably lower numbers here. 5? Damn. Okay, so does shift B? Can I click on these people or move them around or do anything with them? Nope. Okay. I don't think I can do anything on this screen yet. So I got a whole bunch of people. Everyone's at full energy. Level of proficiency is all over the board though. I think more people are below 150 than above it actually. Uh-oh. The cigar is still there. You gonna take that off? Okay. What an asshole. Well, it didn't damage it. Oh god, the clock was already moving. It just went forward 10 minutes in like 3 seconds. God damn. Alright. Responding to calls is the bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The farther away the destination is from the police station, the longer it takes your officers to travel back and forth. So the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work. Okay, so these are the people I have available. I have 3 people above 150, 4 people below 150. This person has a 5. Jesus. Then we have the SWAT team. Looks like this is going to be a bit like the 911 operator game I played with Andrew, where we were 911 operators responding to calls and sending the police and the ambulances around to solve problems. Top-down simulator thing. Everyday mall. Calls. Slots. The easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units you are allowed to send on the call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particularly risky missions give you the option of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least 1 officer. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on, all this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder. Or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. Let's see, hit and run, everyday mall. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot, back over a homeless man who had been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he'd hit a bum, got back in the van and quickly drove away. Oh, what a piece of shit. But also, shouldn't we be sending an ambulance, not the police? Well, I mean, also the police. I guess maybe I don't run the ambulances at all. Being the police chief and all that makes sense. Doesn't seem like the most serious thing, though, so I probably should send lower star people. It's just people looking into something that already happened, as opposed to a problem in progress. Asano and Tsubaki, the people that are just under 150. Maybe give them a chance to get some practice in? Oh, that looks cool. I like that visual of the model city having the having the light reflecting off the buildings and everything. Crime in progress. There we go. Fight. The last picture show theater. A theater manager reports that during a show of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater, carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting the theater security guard. Oh. Wow. What the fuck? Why? He like starts fighting the theater during a Citizen Kane performance? That's just weird. Let's send in top dog and bottom dog. Coach, she can probably take care of it on their own, but I'm gonna see if Price can be less shitty if I send them in. She looks so old though that I don't know if she's gonna be somebody who improves. She might just retire like, well, sooner than me, frankly. Oh, I like looking at this game. That was a nice visual. I guess I just wait and oh, hit and run report. Shit. Oh, report of the mission being over. Okay. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies. But the truth is, sometimes criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster. Dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Hey, they gain points. Cool. I think my strategy actually works. There's the fight. Offender caught. Nobody's harmed. Hey, Price sucks less now. That was a good idea. I think sending a proficient person with a shitty person means the shitty person will eventually get to 150. Armed robbery. Suburb. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store and made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs. Let's see. With a shotgun. Damn. So, robbed with a shotgun. Let's send in low and high again. I think that's actually a reasonable approach. Fight. Johnson, Jurgen, and Katz law firm. A brother and sister clashed with each other over their deceased father's will. According to one of their lawyers, we don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. Oh, this probably doesn't matter. Yeah. It's 2 siblings are fighting with each other. I mean, it could get serious, but it's probably just, you know, maintain the peace. We'll just send in somebody to show up. Probably not. I don't think it's worth sending 2 people for. It's not a violent. It's technically violent on paper, but it's not like there's probably no actual risk to anybody. I guess I can click on the left bar or the time. Assault in the ghetto. A passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then run away with his guitar and money. What a piece of shit. Oh, 3 people can be sent. Isn't that interesting? Oh, man. Did I send 3 people, I wonder? Maybe. Or I can send Kochi and Price. I don't think I should send Price on a 3-person mission. Let's do half and half. They're high-level characters. I'm quickly gonna run out of people if I send everyone. Fuck me. Alright. This is bad. Direct orders. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask how to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up, but don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. What is going on here? Armed robbery suburb. The vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. Moaning? What is happening? I feel like sneaking in can lead to a surprise, violent incident that might go poorly. I have no idea what the right thing is to do here. Knocking on the door alerts them, but also puts you at the up in an ambushable location, which they might be. Wasn't this the violent group? Let's do the loudspeaker approach. It's probably safer for the police. So turn on the siren and loudspeaker, then shout the house is surrounded. What's going to happen? They're caught. Hey, no one was hurt. Cool. That worked out better than I thought it would. I was a little worried. What was that? Alright. Offender escaped. No one was hurt. Aww. So due to the failed mission, they lost progress. Still, offender escaped. I mean, it was siblings in a scuffle and they ran away. Like, that's not... I don't know. That the way that was phrased didn't sound like anyone was necessarily even the specific offender. I'm not losing sleep over that one. I have no evidence anyone was even hurt. Come on, let's get more people back home. So that when if something else bad happens, I don't have to worry about it, hopefully. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Alright. That's the people that attacked the musician. I'm gonna fix you, Price, goddammit. What was that? Oh, that was the sound of a car pulling up. End of the day. Do I click end the day now, or should I wait? It's like it's given as an option, which is interesting. Or was it just waiting for the last people to show up? That might have been it. Okay, what's the options? Graphics. Others? Cursor. Huh. Not really. Okay, no big deal here. Alright, we finished a day. No one got hurt. Some people got some experience. If you think you'll need a couple extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. So now some of these characters are tired. I never saw these three people do anything. They weren't even on the list, but now they're tired. I don't know what they did. Shift A. So this is the shift I didn't have access to. I don't think so. Didn't it just say Shift B and no Shift A last time? I wonder what the difference is here. Oh, these are the high-level characters. No, they're not. Never mind. That goes down quickly. In both cases, there's an old character that just is apparently less proficient. Huh. Alright, well, this is the police. That's a weird phrase to say. I imagine that's more or less the loop. As you keep going back and forth, you manage your characters, cutscenes play telling you the continuing story of the protagonist over the course of 180 days. Probably goes somewhere dramatic as opposed to just being a simulator all the time. And there's probably events that happen in the city along the way that cause things to happen. I'm thinking a little bit along the lines of like Papers, Please, or This War of Mine, where like there's clearly like world events that affect your decision making in addition to all the management you're doing and stuff like that. Seems like an enjoyable enough game to play. Might be very long if it's 180 days that you actually play one at a time. But yeah, check it out via the link in the description if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching like always. Thanks to the developers for sending in the code and for the sequel. Although I don't know if it's necessary to do both. And I'll see you guys next time.